I the wrong one for pressing charges against my son? My son, 28, was visiting us for a couple days and was at my house alone babysitting my daughter's kid. According to my son, the other day my 4-year-old granddaughter, his niece, pulled down the TV and broke it. My son told us that he took the TV to the dump as it was shattered and useless. My daughter and son-in-law, my 4-year-old granddaughter's parents, felt very bad for what had happened and paid the cost of the TV that day. My husband was watching our security cameras and our son's story doesn't hold up. We never see our granddaughter breaking the TV. All that we see is our son taking away the TV that is not shattered. We asked our son about this and he said that the security camera must have cut out the part that shows our granddaughter breaking the TV. Eventually I got a call from my son's girlfriend that lives with him. She said that she knew what was going on and felt guilty. She basically told us that our son had made up the story about the TV breaking and stole it and took it to their house to watch. I filed a police report and his girlfriend let the police into their house to get us our TV back. We do plan on pressing charges against him. He stole our TV and made my daughter pay for it. That is messed up on so many levels. Am I the wrong one for pressing charges? Not the wrong one at all. If you don't press charges, he'll think he can get away with stuff like this. Not cool. Frankly, you're not only not the a-hole, you absolutely did the right thing and should be praised for it. I'm glad his girlfriend had the integrity to come clean. If it's his first offense, he can plead down to a misdemeanor and get some community service, and hopefully learn his lesson before does something that gets him years behind bars. Not the wrong one. I usually don't agree with involving the police in family disputes, but in this case, it was warranted. He blatantly lied about it to a child, forced the hand of your daughter to pay for the replacement cost of the TV, and stole the TV. If confronted, the situation could have escalated, so filing the police report was the right thing to do. What I'm wondering is what his long game was. Like, you would come over to his place, see your old TV and not notice? Am I the wrong one for not letting my sister see her kids? I, 28 years old female, obtained custody of my sister's 35 years old female kids, 9 meters, 4F, 2F, back in 2018, after she left them alone for 2 weeks to go on a trip. Read, drug bender. Of course this was a huge transition for the kiddos. They had to be moved schools and daycares, and of course couldn't see their mom anymore. Now, the kids are doing better and definitely lead happier lives. Recently, though, my sister was released from prison, and wants to see the kids again. She called me, begging to have a visit with them, and telling me that I could give them back because she was out of prison now. I've had a talk with the 9-year-old, and he says that he doesn't want to see his mom yet, and that he still hates her for leaving him alone. The girls have no memories of her, and the smallest one was only 3 months old the last time she saw her. I do feel like I could have helped them foster a better relationship with her, but I don't want to force the oldest into meeting her when he absolutely doesn't want to. Still, my close family has told me that the oldest doesn't know what he's talking about, and it's my fault the little ones don't remember their mother because I didn't take them to see her when she was in prison. They also told me that it's my responsibility to force them to meet her, even when they don't want to, because that's what's best for them and they shouldn't grow up without their mother. So, am I the wrong one? Added, I have spoken to a professional about this, specifically the oldest therapist. They have advised that it should be up to him. I just want to know if I'm being a jerk to my sister. Also, I have adopted the kids, and have full custody of them. Yikes. This seems above the Reddit pay grade. I'd talk to a counselor or social services about this. Definitely someone with professional experience. Not the wrong one. As their guardian, it's your duty to look out for their best interests. If seeing their mother isn't good for them, and it certainly doesn't appear to be, then you're in the right for keeping them separate. Am I the wrong one for telling my drywall guy to stop bugging my babysitter? We are doing some house renovations and so workers are in the house. Today 2 guys were putting up drywall in the living room while our babysitter is playing with our daughter in the family room while I'm working in my downstairs office. I hear the drywall guy asking personal questions to my babysitter until her answers started getting short and her tone changes, i.e. Guy, so where do you live? Her, north of here. Guy, yeah, but where? Her, it's kind of a weird spot. That's when I finally walked upstairs and told him, what is this? The census? She's watching my kid. Let her be. I thought I did it in a joking manner, but I guess it came off harsher than I intended. My wife promptly informed me I was an a-hole to the guy and the babysitter had it under control. I get that white knighting is a thing and that I may be out of touch with where I should be putting my foot down, so I leave the verdict all of you. Am I the a-hole? Update. We spoke about the situation and just before she left, I apologized to her for the weirdo and let her know he won't be back. To quote her, "The thirsty ones never get the hint." The most eye-opening takeaway from this was when she told my wife and I, "If you think that was bad, you should check out my DMs." Her Instagram messages are from people who should be put on the sex offender registry. Guys offering her $700 a week to hold them. Guys she has never met offering to buy her plane tickets, and straight-up dick pics. How are dick pic people not out on the sex offender registry? It's just street flashing with less effort. It's insane, and it's apparently just a norm with the way she brushed it off. My wife is deflecting from whether I'm still the a-hole, but I'll take what I can get. In her defense, even the babysitter noted that while my comment was funny, my tone was actually straight up yelling at the guy. It's a give and take like anything in this world. Anyway, thank you all for your input, and here is to hoping the thirsty ones get a job which has them work from home and off social media. Not the wrong one, and big blessings to you. Your babysitter probably felt obligated to remain polite while working. You the real MVP. Not the wrong one. This was the exact right thing to do. Am I the wrong one for changing the package pickup each time someone uses my email for orders? So pretty much, there's this guy who keeps ordering things with my email. He isn't using any other personal information of mine, so I don't think it's a privacy concern. So back to the point, I will occasionally get emails from random websites about an order confirmation. I've never heard of most of those websites, and I know for a fact none of my family members used my email to buy something. With most emails, there's a number, name and an address. I'm assuming it's the person's address, attached. I've tried texting the number and even calling, but I've never gotten an answer. I'd always get emails from UPS to confirm the pickup/drop-off area. Ever since I've gotten the emails, I always change the location for delivery. So instead of it being delivered at his doorstep, it gets shipped to a post office 20 miles away. He can't change that since, like I said, it's all attached to my email. I recently got an email from the guy, and turns out, the reason he keeps writing my email is because his and mine are both almost identical. Imagine mine is ABC, his is IC, so he always switches one letter, therefore I get the emails. In his email, he calls me an a-hole for making the pickup so far. When I asked him why can't he just use his own email, he said, "It's always a typo I do, and I don't feel like fixing it because it takes too much time." I'm not even joking. That's exactly what he said. So am I the wrong one for sabotaging this guy's packages? Tell him it takes less time to change the typo than it does to go to a post office 20 miles away. Not the wrong one, just start canceling the orders instead. While you technically aren't break the law, you are skirting right up to the edge. Just start canceling the orders. He'll get the point. Am I the wrong one for letting my nephew to call me mom? A while back, my brother married a woman who had an 11-year-old son named Billy. A year later, my sil gave birth to a little girl. 2 years later, she gave birth to a boy. Billy, who was 14 by this time, was treated like an outsider. My sil and brother saw him as a burden who spoiled their picture-perfect family. If you asked my sil how many kids she had, she would say 2. Billy started acting out. He got involved with a bad group of kids and started getting into trouble. He started failing all of his classes. He eventually got into drugs and was suspended from school. My brother and sil were fed up with him. I asked my brother if Billy could spend the summer with me and my husband. We have a hobby farm, and I thought maybe getting away from his life for a while could help him some. Well, they were more than happy to get rid of him. My sil's words. It was kind of rough the first few weeks. He had a lot of anger issues, but my husband kept his hands and mind busy doing work on the farm, and we both made sure that he knew he was loved and wanted. By August, he was a totally different kid. He wanted to keep living with us, but my sil insisted that he come home. After 2 months, he went back to his old ways due to his parents' indifference. They ended up sending him back to us, and he lived with us throughout high school. He ended up being a Navy student and kept with a really great group of kids. He got involved in baseball and got a scholarship to a local university. He's 22 now and is in his last year of school. He's engaged to a really great girl. When he was 16, he started calling me mom, and he started calling my husband pops. He never really had much to do with his mom, and he had nothing to do with my brother. He saw them on holidays when the whole family came over. His mom has tried to have a relationship with him the past few years, but he has avoided her. On Christmas, Sil was over, and for whatever reason, she opened my desk drawer and found a birthday card from Billy where he said, "To the best mom ever. Thanks for loving me and giving me a chance." She was devastated. She ended up texting Billy, confronted him, and asked him if she would be presented as mother of the groom at his wedding. He told her that he no longer considered her his mom and wasn't even sure if he wanted her at the wedding at all. My Sil is now insisting that I make it clear to Billy that I am not his mother and that he is not to refer to me as such. My brother is also very upset with me. Even my parents are pressuring me to do what Sil wants for the sake of peace. Honestly, I consider Billy to be my son. I count him in with all of my children. I feel like telling Billy not to present me as mother of the groom could possibly be misinterpreted as me saying that I don't feel like he's my son, and I don't even want to take a chance of that happening. If he decides to present his real mom as mother of the groom, I will 110% support him. So am I the wrong one for not respecting my Sil's wishes? Edited to add, I have zero desire to tell Billy not to call me mom, and I absolutely won't do it because I know it would destroy him and it would kill me. My Sil insists that by not doing it, I'm making it impossible for her to have a relationship with him and I'm being selfish. I have talked to Billy about it some. He doesn't like to talk about his mom at all. He basically just said that he doesn't see her as a mom and has for sure decided he doesn't want her at the wedding. I understand and respect that. Also, I just want to thank everyone who left such sweet comments. I've been so choked up reading them all. Not the wrong one. She didn't even consider herself his mother. You saved this kid from a lot of rough crap he probably would have gotten into, and if he sees you as his mom, he should be allowed to call you that. Not the wrong one, girl, that's your son. Am I the wrong one for siding with my brother and Sil over my parents? My brother and my Sil have been married for 6 years. I love them both dearly. They adopted a little girl about a year ago. My parents were happy about this too, at first. They got really angry when my brother and Sil announced recently that their daughter would be their only child and they do not want biological kids. My mom and dad lost their crap. They told my brother he had to get my Sil pregnant. He was the family's male heir and he would have to have a biological son to carry forward the family name. This makes no sense to me, nor my bro and Sil. It's not as if we're a family of European royalty. Who gives a f about the family name in this day and age? Well, my parents do apparently. They've been berating my brother and guilt-tripping my sister-in-law, making her feel like she's taking something away from our family. On one occasion they actually suggested that my brother leave my Sil if she didn't want to get pregnant and have a son with another woman. What's even worse is that they've stopped paying attention to my niece. Earlier, they would call and talk to her almost every day, but ever since they were told about my bro and Sil's decision, they've stopped calling her. This pisses me off and has deeply saddened my bro and Sil. The child is 3 years old and doesn't deserve this kind of treatment. Yesterday, when I called my brother, he seemed very upset. He told me that mom and dad had called him and they had talked about something unrelated. When he asked if they wanted to talk to their granddaughter, they said they'd talk to their real grandchild when my brother came to his senses and decided to give them one. I was angrier than I've been in a long time. I called my parents and unloaded on them. I told them how selfish and cruel they were being and how dare they take out their anger on my niece, along with a lot of other things I can't even remember. My mom started crying as she's not used to being yelled at. I understand that yelling at them may have been a bit much, but I just can't believe how awful they are being towards a kid. So am I the a-hole, or are they? Edit. Some people have been wondering how my parents would act when I have kids. No need to worry about that since I won't be having any. I made this clear to my parents years ago and yes, they threw a fit over this. Not the wrong one. Your parents can be disappointed that they don't have a biological grandchild, but you were absolutely right to call them out on how cruel they're being to your niece. What if your brother or Sil weren't physically able to have children? I wonder if your parents would have thrown a fit about carrying on the family name then. Either way, they need to come to terms with their disappointment and stop taking it out by being so mean to everyone, especially their granddaughter. Not the wrong one, they absolutely deserved it. Good on you for having your brothers, Sils, and nieces' backs. Thank you all for listening. Have a great day. See you later.